Well, hello everyone, welcome back to another video of some F1 2020 gameplay. Now, first of all, if you remember, I was back to the previous episode of Career Mode, which was uploaded yesterday. If you haven't seen it, I'll try and remember to do it an eye thingy on the top right hand side. But basically, we did some upgrades in that. Fortunately, unlike in past F1 games, where you get to the end, you apply the upgrades, that doesn't save. So we're going to do all the upgrading and all that stuff at the start of each episode now instead of the end. And also want you guys to know what I want to do, but we're going to rush the durability upgrade and see if that works. That should be in before we get to there. There's also a chassis upgrade. We will go for aero potentially at the end when we got a bit more resource points, and we probably go maybe double the aggro, but we'll have to wait and see. That'll be in the next episode. But that monocoque structure, gearbox durability all passed, so nothing has yet failed, which is good. I'm getting a little bit too suspicious that nothing has failed. I know the fact that there's the team have got quite a lot of purchases on that stuff, but that is in, that we rush that upgrade. That's going to be in for this Grand Prix, along with the weight reduction, which is going to help. Well, weight reduction helps all around, but yes. And also, I just want to point out here, even in career mode, where it's not my team, in a normal career mode, your teammate is still getting resource points for you as well. So we hop over to qualifying now, for round 2 of this 16 race career mode. And of course, no commentary, which has been removed for this year. But this was our fastest lap. We did it at the end of the session again. This time there was no hiccups on our first run, which was good. I did run out of fuel on the I was going to do it for a second lap, but we weren't really going up much. You can see here we're not actually going fast in the first sector. We're actually about 1/10 and a half down on our previous time, and I think that's all stemmed out of the last corner. We didn't get really the best exit, but you can that of course is coming into the roundabout section, or rather as we go the wrong way around it. You see here we're starting to make better upgrades. You can see here we've already claimed 10th, pretty much 10th back here. We're losing a little bit of time down the straight. I'm not really a fan of this straight, because this ultimately you can have anybody. You'll see later on in the race why I'm not really a fan of it. Down into this corner, the hairpin, I was struggling a little bit here on our first run, and that's where we start making up the big time at the end of the second sector. We've now almost pulled 10th up on our previous time. We're 10th down on Sergio Perez, who's in 10th place. That's what the timing gap is, not to first place at all, or even but you see here through this wonderful new twisty S section, which I'm beginning to actually like. It's the only bit of this track that I do actually like. Everything else is not the great, to be honest, but around the final corner it's a 3/10 improvement, and just enough for 9th place on the grid. And not a lot there. 9th place on the grid for us, which is good. Behind the two Renaults. Renault, until Codemasters produce a patch, then Renault. Interestingly, Bottas 1/1000th of a second slower, and Gasly was useless down in 17th. But yes, time for the race.
Welcome along to the Vietnamese capital of Hanoi, a vibrant city built on the banks of the magnificent Red River. Today it's the backdrop for the latest round of the Formula One World Championship, with a circuit specifically designed to encourage overtaking opportunities. I think we could be in for a cracking race today. It's a track that combines the bespoke design of a traditional race circuit with the tight, close barriers of a street track that our drivers race on today. 23 corners and a total distance of 3.4 miles. Watch out in particular for overtaking into the braking zone at turn 11. Now Anthony Davidson, I wonder, might we be in for some early pit stops today from the midfield teams, or trying to put some pressure on, or disrupting things for the leaders up front?
If you're in the middle of the pack, you know, you got your own race to run, I don't think they're going to be thinking about causing trouble up front. However, closer to the head of the pack, don't be surprised to see some split strategies. If you're running second and third, for example, bringing one car in for an undercut while leaving the other one out there longer can put a lot of pressure on the leader and maybe force them into an error.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Leclerc, Verstappen, Alexander Albon, and Vettel, Ricciardo, Ocon, and Alpha Tauri, and Carlos Sainz, Perez, Stroll, Lando Norris, and Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Magnussen, Pierre Gasly, and Roman Grosjean, Russell, and Nicholas Latifi. That's it then, it's time to go racing, as we head to trackside for today's race.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
Well, thanks, Jeff. There, at least he's taught this time. Race strategy is a one-stop, as it is for every 25% race. So we get ready for 5 red lights for the very first Vietnamese Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go, and it's a great start. Compared to that, this time not even using the overtake to get a great start as well. We've got ahead of Ocon. Can we get ahead of Ricciardo into turn 1? It's going to be, we're going to have the outside through the turn 1. It's going to turn to the left hand side through this first of the half roundabouts, where we go around the correct way. But of course this isn't going to stand. The Honda engine is absolutely woeful. It's the slowest of it's slower than Renault. And Renault, I don't know what it is with Renault, but they've actually got some good pace compared to us. We're trying to go around the outside of Ricciardo back into the roundabout, but it's not really doing that. And we're now going to be sort of a sickened duck really for the cars behind. We will have some ERS overtake mode to play with, but not a lot. As Ocon goes steaming in, however, we're going to get him back on the second half of the braking zone, as I braked a little bit too early there, and up into what is back up into P8. It's not long before Ocon has the DRS, he has the better engine, and is already ahead. And now we've got to look behind us again, because we've got Sergio Perez and the 2 McLarens of, I think that's Sainz ahead of Norris again, and also Lance Stroll hanging in there, which is good. Nice to see Stroll's AI not qualifying down in P20 all the time, or P18 rather, as it was last year. As we look at, we make a little bit of a mistake there, come back off circuit and trying to hang this round, and oh yeah, that was a little bit of an AI mistake there. We haven't seen a lot of AI mistakes actually. There was literally none that I saw in episode 1. But what can we do against Perez now? We're going to have DRS. Unfortunately, the DRS is halfway down this straight, and Sainz already is past us. Norris now is going to have a look at us, and Sainz is already having a look at Sergio Perez. And can we get this move done? We're going to have to double dive bomb down the inside. That was just like that is not what I wanted to do, but I mean, it gets the job done, and Perez actually outstrips the 2 McLarens, as Daniel Ricciardo is now ahead of Albon in this race as well. So Albon's AI is slower than what it should be, as we've somehow got some front wing damage. I'm not sure if it was in the double dive bomb against Sainz and Perez, but Sainz eventually got ahead of Perez with the DRS. I imagine a bit of ERS. Our ERS recovery isn't very good, so that's another upgrade we're going to be targeting. We're just literally a sitting duck on the straight line for Sainz. Down the inside though we retain retain P9, although Perez now he's had the better exit out of the hairpin, but we're going to have to try and go back down the inside of him, take a bit of the curb in and force him wide. And safety car deployed. I'm not sure what's happening here. Yeah, okay, we're on board with Max Verstappen, coming into the they've gone side by side through the S section, but Vettel was coming into the pits and he takes Verstappen's nose off. And of course, everybody, including Vettel, I think that's Ricciardo and Albon, Ocon's continued on, and I think because the head of them were Clerk and the two Mercs, they continued on as well. Everybody else is coming into the pits, and unfortunately, there's lots of front wings in the air. We're going to have a front wing change, and we're going to get blocked off because Lance Stroll is coming in as well. So there's nothing we can do here. It's the role reversal of Australia, where Gasly blocked off everybody else and we got in. Unfortunately, the pit order layout in Vietnam is the other way around. Otherwise, we would have been clean out in last place. Clean out and potentially out best the rest, I don't know. But nevertheless, we're out behind Giovinazzi. So what can we do? The safety car, we only just really caught the pack as the safety car was coming in. I tried the best, but Giovinazzi and Norris ahead were far too slow, and we're in the mood now for making some big overtakes. Let's go and come back, dive bomb down the inside of Giovinazzi. We're going to go off circuit though, come back on the circuit, force Giovinazzi wide, and that's another position. And up into what is P16. As we look now here, the two Mercs have double stacked as well, and Bottas is ahead of Hamilton. So Hamilton is going to get, well, these four are going to drop to the back of the grid because, why are Mercedes double stacking? They're not in. It's not like the. It's not like the safety cars come out. So yes, but we're looking at George Russell. So ultimately, a lot of the lower teams like the Haas and the Alfa Romeos and the Williams are now in points-paying positions. Our teammate unfortunately hasn't taken advantage because he got slowed up by me being slowed up by the racing points, but we are in the points aren't that far ahead. Latifi, this train is called by Latifi. Russell's up in the 6th place. So some yellow flags are ahead, and there's a car. I'm not sure what's going on here. We're gonna have to lift off, obviously, because of yellow flags. And there's Daniel Ricciardo, engine smoking up there, and he is out of the race. That's one place closer to getting point. This here at Vietnam this afternoon. Now we're closing up to Norris. Latifi is causing a little bit of a train there, and Perez and Magnussen and Russell is the train that's further up ahead. I believe that some of the lower positions like Raikkonen and Sainz, I think they're around the podiums, a dive bomb down the inside of Lando Norris under braking at the end of the DRS, and that's us up into the podiums. Although Norris is going to come back, of course, the Renault power unit is actually down. Giovinazzi is now getting ready to come back us as well. We're going to have to make this is all going to be up under grating. We take to the curb, which is not going to allow us to get past. However, fear not, we got a good slipstream. We've got a little bit of overtake mode to use, not a lot though. Recovery is poor. Norris locks up, and that's going to allow us to come back up into P10, and that's going to secure us at least 1 point here this afternoon, but we're not done there yet. Next up is Latifi. Williams is one of the cars that is a lot slower than ours, and it's easy pickings down into turn 1 really on the following lap. We catch up to Romain Grosjean. The Haas is also one of the other cars that's not really that great. In real life, it's slower than ours in real life and in the game, and we do a deja vu really on Grosjean that we did on Latifi. Next up is Russell. What can we do here? We're going to bully ourselves down in the inside. Russell locks up as well. Take advantage of that. A little bit of corner cutting there, but obviously I was trying to get Magnussen, but unfortunately we're too far back, and the engine really isn't powered up. We haven't got on that. We're outside of DRS as well, so we're going to have to settle for what will be P7, and I think we'll take that after an wing change and being held up in the pits, and 1 point being P17. But driver of the day goes to Kimi Räikkönen, of course. We've had 2 good drives so far in our career mode, but yeah, you know. In actual fact, Alex Albon won the race because Vettel got a 5-second penalty for taking out Verstappen in the end. So Albon wins the race from Vettel. Carlos Sainz gets McLaren's first podium. Raikkonen and Perez as well. Magnussen in 6th, with Russell getting Williams' first points of the season, Norris down in 9th, and Bottas picked Grosjean to the final point as well, down in P10. And our teammate Gasly was the last. So, in terms of the Drivers' Championship, we're down to P7. We're still ahead of Bottas, who... So, yes, we're going to keep the scoreboard ticking, see what we can do with the points as we go through the season. Our teammate's down in 16th place, and is ahead of only a couple of people who have yet to actually score some points, of course, including Stroll, Ocon, usual suspects, basically. But all 10 teams now have only scored points after round 2, which is good to see that competitiveness in the season.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. You left a lot of paint on the walls today. Were you struggling for grip, or did you just misjudge some corn?
I'm not going to answer that, Claire.
Do you have any comments about the collisions?
I'm not going to answer that either, funny enough. Don't you sigh at me. Who do you think you are? You pulled me over, wasting my time. If you're not going to ask correct questions, Claire, then I'm not going to answer them. We had a good race, yes. There was a few scrapes up the inside, but we needed to be that forceful in making the moves to try and get the best amount of points possible, because we know in certain races we are going to be unfortunate. But, so yes, enough about Claire. I want you guys to let me know what upgrades I'll do at the start of the next upgrade. You got onto the next video on this series won't be coming until Saturday. But if you have enjoyed, then please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you see more episodes of this Alpha Tauri F1 2020 career mode. And until the next video, I'll see you next time. Take care. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your day, and goodbye.